Hi everyone, I'm so glad you clicked on the link and you are checking in for session 1.2 of your Soulistic Leadership journey. I thought it would be helpful just to have a face-to-face, although we can't really see each other face-to-face. You can see my face and I trust that I can see yours in my mind as I'm praying for you this week. I wanted to just give a quick recap on homework and then just leave you one thing to think about as you go into week 2. So just a recap of the homework, what we did was we started Soulistic Leadership. You should have been able to pick up your copy. It's on third floor, Life Development Building at the front desk if you haven't got it yet. So read the introduction. We didn't get time to do that in class. Finish up chapter 1 or reread it if it's that exciting to you. Review the questions in the back, both the individual and the large group questions, because you may not have had as much time as you wanted to spend on any of those. So I want to just give you that opportunity to review those questions and then journal on anything that comes to mind. Speaking of journal, you got to have one. You really do. It's super important that you have a journal and you use it. And when we get to the end of the journey, you'll know why. So you got to trust me in the process. So it doesn't have to be fancy. It can be a new one, an old one. It could be one dedicated simply to this journey, or it can be the one you use all the time. Either way, find yourself a journal, bring it with you, and then keep it with your books as you do your homework and your readings during the week. Okay, book number 2, if you did not pick up your Renovation of the Heart by Dallas Willard, there are extra copies available at Lauren's desk. If you don't know where Lauren lives on the 3rd floor, let me know, or ask somebody at the reception desk 3rd floor and they will let you know where Lauren is. Just one comment on Dallas Willard. He is not an easy read. He's a philosopher, he's a brilliant mind, and his stuff is not light. Chapter 1 and his introduction is Chapter 1's your homework. The introduction is really helpful, but not mandatory. Chapter 1, the first half is a little cumbersome to get through. It's kind of hard to relate to. And if that's the way you're feeling, go ahead and skim through that, noting anything that does stand out to you. But then I really want you to zero in on page 19 through the end of that chapter, because that's where you'll start to get the real connection of why we're using Dallas Willard's book. We don't spend near as much time in there because we don't have it. We do 4 chapters of his, and each one will be a full meal for you. So plan to do it in bite-sized pieces over the journey, because it's, like I said, it's not an easy read, but there's some really good stuff in there. Don't worry about getting it all. You won't. You just won't get it on the first time. Renovation of the Heart is the book itself as well as the concept. It's just not something that we get in a week or even a few months. It'll be something that you go back to over and over again. So that's the overview on the books, the journal. What else? Thoughts on, I just wanted to give you some words of encouragement on maybe where you're at. Maybe you don't need any encouragement. Maybe you did Sabbath experiment last week and you loved it, and you're reading and you love it and you can't wait till next Wednesday. If so, I love you and I can't wait to see you. But I know what reality is. And reality says is there is an enemy of our soul who would like nothing more than to discourage you. And he's probably giving you doubts and things. You are thinking things like, oh my gosh, what did I get into? What am I doing? I don't even like this stuff. I'm fine. I don't need this. If that's the thoughts, any of the thoughts that you've been having, I encourage you to take them captive. I encourage you instead to remember that there is most likely a reason that you registered, whether you were invited or you were prompted in your own spirit. The Holy Spirit prompted you. There's a reason that you're here, and I want you to stay the course. I want to encourage you to stay the course. Remember, this is not a marathon, it's a mosey. It is contrary to the way that we typically think of getting things done, and that's good because we don't want to stay the same way. That's why you guys came, right? You are busy leaders with a heart for those you lead, and a soul, you desire to have your soul rested and cared for so that you can lead better those that you lead. So take your thoughts captive. If you're not caught up on your homework, that's okay. You're not behind. You have a whole week. That's why I'm checking in with you. When you get done watching the video, get your calendar out and pen in, get us a permanent pen and block out 2 to 3 times, 30 minutes apiece, maybe even 4 times, where you will finish up your reading, get your journaling done, plan for Sabbath, and then plan for next Wednesday. You can do this. I know you can. Again, you have been prayed for so long. You have no idea. So the fact that you are here for such a time as this is your time, and I want to encourage you to stay with it. Let me know if you have any questions, problems, if anything comes up that it's not settling right with you and you just kind of need to work through it. I'm here. Text me, and we'll find a time to connect. So meanwhile, just get with it. Enjoy the journey. That is it. Enjoy the journey. God has got something for you. He really does. It's amazing. It will be more than you can imagine. I know you are probably tired of hearing that verse, but isn't it a good verse? I'm looking at it now. No eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind has imagined what God has prepared for those who love him. Okay? And you love God and desire to serve him with all your heart. So be ready for something that you can't imagine, because God has something awesome prepared for you. All right, get on with it. I'll see you next time. Bye.